If I hadn't replied his message that night, maybe I'd still believe in fairy tales. It started with a message that slid into my Facebook inbox like a whisper from fate. Hello, beautiful. I came across your profile, and I must say, you're stunning. I'm Tony, a Nigerian doctor living in the UK. Mind if we talk? I stared at it for 3 minutes. Doctor? UK? Handsome profile picture? I clicked on his page. He had a stethoscope in his bio. Photos of him in scrubs. A few blurry shots in front of what looked like a UK hospital. One picture with a Range Rover in the background. I replied, I didn't mean to fall in love, but when you're 27, jobless and tired of Lagos stress, a man who promises to take you abroad becomes a beacon. Our chats turned to calls. His voice? Deep, calming, confident. He called me babe before the first week ended. Sent me N50K just for saying yes. Another N100K when I said I loved his voice. Olivia, he once said, you were born for more. I see it in your eyes. I'll change your life. And like a fool dressed in hope, I believed him. 3 months later, he flew into Nigeria. I met him at the Port Harcourt airport. He was shorter than I expected, wore a face cap, said he was avoiding immigration wahala on return. But he smelled good and smiled like a man who knew how to own rooms. He met my family the next day. My mother didn't even blink before calling the village women. A UK doctor wants to marry my daughter, she shouted, dancing with rappers. The traditional wedding happened 2 weeks later. Fast, private. UK doctors don't have time, he said. Hospitals don't wait. He kissed me that night like he meant it, and 2 days later, he flew back. I'll process your papers, he said. Soon you'll join me in Manchester. I told my friends I was leaving Nigeria. I told myself this was God answering prayers. But if I had known what waited for me on the other side, I would have begged him to shut the door. When the taxi stopped, I thought we were lost. But the real tragedy? We had arrived. The day I landed at Manchester Airport, the cold slapped my face before the air hostess could even say goodbye. I clutched my Ghana must-go bag and scanned the crowd anxiously. Where was Tony? He'd promised he'd be right at the gate with flowers. He told me to wear my red lipstick and that long Ankara jacket I sent him a picture of. So I can show you off, he said. But there was no Tony. No flowers. No sign with my name. Just people rushing past me like I was invisible. I waited 45 minutes. Then finally, his text buzzed. Hey, babe. I'm outside in a cab. I couldn't park. Come out through Terminal 2. No apology. No explanation. Something felt off. When I found him, he was in the back seat of a beat-up Toyota Corolla with a Nigerian cab driver who looked half asleep. Welcome to the UK, babe, Tony said with a crooked smile, opening the door. He looked different, not just physically, emotionally. Cold, tired. His beard was longer. The gold wristwatch he used to flex on video calls was gone. Still, I smiled. I needed to believe this was temporary. I can't wait to see the house, I said, settling in beside him. He looked at the driver. A beg make we day go Peckham. I blinked. Peckham? I thought he lived in Manchester. But before I could ask, he changed the topic. I hope you're not expecting Mansion O, he laughed, eyes forward. UK no be Nollywood. I chuckled nervously. But an hour later, when the cab stopped in front of a dingy 3-story building with cracked bricks, graffiti on the side, and overflowing bins by the door, my heart dropped. This your place? I asked. He nodded. Yeah, for now. My main house day on renovation. I didn't believe it, but I followed him in. 1 staircase, no elevator. 2nd floor, Unit 2, C. He knocked. A Yoruba guy with cornrows opened the door, shirtless and holding a cigarette. Behind him, another man sat on the couch in briefs, eating rice from a pot. This my babe, Tony mumbled. No one said welcome. No one moved. Tony led me past the living room and opened a small room with a mattress on the floor and 2 suitcases in the corner. This is us, he said casually, our new beginning. I stood frozen in the doorway. No heater, no wardrobe. Just four walls, a single bulb, and the stench of disappointment. And at that moment, it hit me. I didn't marry a UK doctor. I married a UK hustler, with good Wi-Fi and big lies. A lie can wear a lab coat. That doesn't make it a doctor. I didn't sleep that night. Not because of the cold, though the draft in that tiny room made my bones ache, but because of the noise in my head. Everything was wrong. The room, the building, the housemates, Tony's silence. And yet he lay beside me like nothing was wrong, like this was some honeymoon suite. He even had the audacity to pull me closer at 2 a.m. and whisper, "This is just for now, babe. I have plans." Plans. I had left my entire life behind for a man who now lived like a squatter. The next morning, he was already dressed in faded blue scrubs when I opened my eyes. "Going to the hospital?" I asked. He smiled weakly. "Yeah, double shift. Agency Wahala." "What hospital?" I pushed. He hesitated. "CareTech," he said quickly. "They have branches." I looked it up when he left. It wasn't a hospital. It was a care home, where they wiped old people's backsides, fed them porridge, and worked 16-hour shifts on minimum wage. Tony wasn't a doctor. Tony was a care assistant, and not even a legal one. I scrolled further. CareTech didn't sponsor visas, which meant my stomach turned. I ran to the tiny bathroom and threw up. I spent the whole day in that room. No food, no light. My phone barely had charge. I couldn't even call home. What would I say? "Hello, Mama. I'm in the UK, but I'm sleeping on the floor of a flat with men who smoke weed, and my husband is not a doctor." I cried quietly, the kind of cry that makes your body ache. By evening, Tony returned, smelling like antiseptic and stress. He brought bread and sardines, tried to kiss me. I turned away. "You lied to me," I said, my voice barely audible. He paused. "Babe, I didn't lie. I just packaged the truth." "You lied." I stood up. "You told me you were a doctor. You said you lived in Manchester. You promised me a better life." "I did it for us," he snapped. "To bring you here." "For us," I scoffed. "You used my dreams to fix your shame." He grabbed my hand. "Look, give me time. Once I regularize my papers, everything will change. I'll get you papers too. We'll move." "Move where, Tony?" I said, eyes burning. "Even your lies are homeless." And right there, in the dimness of a stranger's flat, I realized I wasn't his wife. I was his cover story. It's not the poverty that hurts, it's the performance. The next morning, I woke up determined. No more tears, no more hope. I needed answers. I needed options. I needed to stop being the fool with a wedding band that meant nothing. Tony had gone for another double shift, leaving behind stale bread and a smudged kiss on my forehead I didn't ask for. The house was mostly empty. One of the roommates had a loud girl over, and I overheard her say, "Your friend Tony still de lie. Give that babe we come from Niger." I froze. Then I heard, "I pity him, oh. She fine, but she no sabi wetin she enter. The other wife still de vex." Other wife? I tiptoed to the kitchen like I wasn't listening, but my blood was rushing, boiling, screaming. I went back into our room, shut the door, and began searching. The drawer, the bottom of the mattress, his second phone, his bag. That's when I found a yellowed letter hidden inside one of his old passport jackets. A UK postal letter, sealed and stamped, addressed to a Mrs. Amanda Okonkwo. I opened it. A childcare invoice. Address, Peckham. 15 minutes away. I Googled the name, searched Facebook. There she was, Amanda. Profile picture. A pretty, tired-looking Nigerian woman holding a toddler in a coat. Caption, "My everything, mama's little heartbeat." I stared at the child. Big brown eyes, round cheeks, Tony's dimple. I was shaking. I clicked on her About tab. Married to Tony Okonkwo. Since 2016. That's 3 years before he messaged me on Facebook. I sat there frozen, hugging my knees. So I was not just broke, undocumented and betrayed. I was also someone's second wife, illegally married. He didn't marry me for love. He married me for papers, for pity, for presentation. I picked up my phone and messaged him, "We need to talk. Don't come with excuses." His reply came quick. "Relax, babe. I'll explain everything. I love you. Don't listen to outsiders." Love? I laughed. Out loud. The kind of laugh that makes your throat itch. I packed my bag that night. Not because I had a plan, but because staying meant collapsing slowly in a house built entirely on lies. There's a pain worse than heartbreak, realizing you were just a tool in someone else's plan. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the edge of that worn-out mattress, clutching my phone, staring at Amanda's profile picture like it might come to life and speak to me. I needed answers. From her. Not from Tony. He'd had his chances. So I did the unthinkable. I messaged her. "Hi, Amanda. I know this will sound strange, but I need to speak with you. It's about Tony." I expected to be ignored, blocked, cursed out, but she replied in 5 minutes. "Who are you? And what do you want with my husband?" My fingers trembled. "Please, can we meet, woman to woman? I'll come to you. I'm not here to fight." After some hesitation, she dropped a location, a small cafe in Peckham. 11 a.m. I was there by 10:40. Hands cold, stomach tight, head pounding. She walked in at exactly 11, wearing a long black coat, glasses, and a sadness she didn't bother to hide. She spotted me, sat down. No greetings. "You have 5 minutes." I nodded, pulled out my wedding photo, me and Tony at our traditional ceremony. Her eyes widened, her breath caught. "He married you?" she whispered. I nodded, silent. She let out a bitter laugh. "My God, so he did it again." "Again?" "You're not the first," Amanda said. "You're the third." My heart nearly stopped. I was the first, married in 2016. We had our daughter in 2018. Then came a girl from Cameroon. Left her after her visa bounced. Now you. My throat burned. "He said he was a doctor." She snorted. "He's been a care worker for 6 years. Got fired last month. Lives off pity and pocket lies. Even the money he sent you? Probably borrowed or begged." I felt tears rising but refused to cry. "Not here. Not in front of another woman who wore my scars." "Why are you still married to him?" I asked. She paused, looked away, then whispered, "Because I haven't found a way out." We sat in silence. 2 women. 1 man. Dozens of lies. "You have your passport?" she asked me finally. I nodded slowly. "He never took it." She leaned in, her voice low and fierce. "Then run. Run now before the system eats you. Don't be like me." He thought I came back to stay. I came back to end it. I took a deep breath before stepping back into that cramped flat. My heart wasn't pounding anymore. It was calm. Too calm. That kind of calm that comes right before a storm. Tony was in the room, lying on the bed in his faded scrubs, scrolling through his phone like nothing was wrong with the world. When he saw me, he sat up, smiling. "Ah, babe, I was just about to call you. Where you go since morning?" I dropped my bag by the wall. "Peckham," I said. His smile froze. "Peckham? I met Amanda." He stood instantly. "You what?" "I met your wife, your real one, the mother of your child." His lips parted. No words came out. I pulled out my phone and played the voice note Amanda had sent me after we parted ways. "Don't let him turn this on you. Don't let him cry. Don't let him lie his way out again." Tony's eyes watered. "Babe, I was going to tell you. I didn't know how. Everything was complicated. But I love you." "Don't," I said coldly. "Don't say that word like it belongs to you." He came closer, hands raised like I was the aggressor. "You don't understand. I brought you here because I care. I want to give you a better life. I just didn't want to lose you." "You never had me, Tony," I said. "You had an illusion. A woman who believed your fantasy. But I'm not her anymore." He was trembling now. What do you want me to say? Nothing, I said. You've said enough. I turned to grab my bag, but he grabbed my arm. I need you, Olivia. Don't leave me. I looked him in the eyes. You don't need me. You need someone to believe in your lie. I pulled away and walked out. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. I went straight to Amanda's place, where she helped me board a train to Birmingham that night. I had a distant cousin there who agreed to house me temporarily. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew it wouldn't include Tony. And as the train pulled out of the station, I took a deep breath. I was undocumented, alone, hurt, but for the first time in months, I was free. He thought he broke me. I just needed time to rebuild into someone he'd never meet again. 3 months later, the girl who arrived in the UK wearing hope-like perfume was dead. The new me? She was a storm. Birmingham was colder, lonelier, but it taught me something Lagos and love never could: how to survive without applause. My cousin, Kioma, gave me a couch. A job in a cleaning agency followed. I scrubbed toilets, offices, even church floors. But I held my head up because I was cleaning for myself, not for a man who dressed his shame in scrubs. Tony called, texted, voicemailed, begged, lied some more. Babe, I've changed. I've sorted my papers. I want to start again, with just you. I didn't reply. Then came Amanda's message. He just told me you ran off with someone else, claimed you were unstable. I laughed loudly. Of course he did. Liars don't apologize. They rewrite the story. But I wasn't done. One morning I posted something on Facebook, a picture of me in my new staff uniform, clean, pressed, standing tall outside a cleaning agency van with the caption, "From naive bride to survivor." I thought he was a doctor. Turns out I was the one doing surgery. On my life. It went viral. Comments flooded in. DMs from women who had been tricked. Stories from other Olivias in every corner of the world. Even Amanda reshared it with the words, "To healing, to sisterhood, to freedom." Tony saw it. He called within minutes. "Why are you doing this, Olivia? You're embarrassing me." I picked up. My voice was calm. "You did that to yourself. I just gave the world the truth." Then I blocked him for good. 6 months later, I got a part-time job at a care home. Then another. I started saving. I joined a support group for women misled by false UK marriages. I even started helping other undocumented girls find safe houses. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was building. One cold Tuesday morning, as I stood near a London bus stop with a warm cup of tea in my hand, I smiled. I wasn't where I thought I'd be. I wasn't who I used to be. But finally, I was enough. The man who lied to me taught me the truth about myself. I am not a victim. I am the comeback he'll never recover from.